Yo, what's good? We back. Triple P, Paul Pickett podcast. I'm your host, Paul Pickett. Let me sip some of my VA juice. While I'm doing that, hit that click now, subscribe button in that right hand corner. Don't forget the Paul Pickett podcast is sponsored by newlitter.com, New Litter Apparel, and Promo Palace LLC, promopalace.biz, online marketing promotions. Also, don't forget to check out dizzlebrand.com. Don't forget the audio version of my podcast goes to Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, Odyssey, Castbox, Deezer, iHeartPlayer, FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Stitcher, TuneIn, and more. And the video version goes to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram TV. All right, get into a couple topics. Kawhi re-signs with Clippers. You pretty much knew he would. A lot of people was speculating him going to Dallas and whatnot. Regardless, he's going to be out for a year. And I never understood the concept of teams signing a player that's going to be out for a year. I mean, you talking about privilege. Athletes privilege like crazy. Kevin Durant, first year of his Brooklyn contract. I mean, he didn't even play. He got paid, $20 million just to rehab? That is privilege. That is privilege. What else we got? Mac Jones versus Cam Newton. Mac Jones looked all right. Cam Newton didn't look too good. Even if Cam Newton gets the starting position, I'm going on the record and saying that he probably doesn't keep it long. He just can't pass it down the field far enough. Just can't push it down the field. He's like Ben Simmons right now when it comes to passing down the field. Like he's scared to do it or something. He's definitely not Superman no more. He definitely doesn't. He's got what it takes to be a starting quarterback. But how many games are they gonna win? I don't know. That's questionable. I just think Mac Jones is definitely gonna get that spot quick. Like, also we got the fan calls for mascot Dinger at Rockies game. Man, we gotta stop it with this, man. Like, people only want to hear what they want to hear, man. Like this fan calls out for the mascot. The mascot's name is Dinger. Which rhymes with singer. Dinger, singer. So he basically, he's calling out the mascot's name, and, people that just want to fixate on racism every single day of their life, or fixate on race every single day of their life like they do, all they hear is the N-word. I even saw an interview where an athlete, a baseball player, had the nerve to say, well, I saw the audio, and even though he's saying the word dinger, ding, ding, I'm still hear the N-word. That's because all you do is fixate on race. And that's got to be a miserable way to live life, when every day you get up and you just fixate on race. Everything you think about is just race this, race that. I mean, there's got to be a more happy way to live life. That's like really you living life fixated on fears and stuff. You can't live life based off of fear. And if you just live every single day of your life fixating on race, that's a racist. That's a racist. So we got to stop, man, trying to create narratives that ain't there. Trying to, every white fan that's yelling, from the stands is not chanting racial comments. We got to stop. The only thing that all the fans are usually combined at saying all together at once is F you, Durant, F you, LeBron. But this idea that all the fans in there all they're all shouting the N-word. We got to stop this, man. And if you go into the mindset of that, that's what you automatically hear, even when somebody ain't saying the word, that's not a good way to live. That's a miserable way to live. That's a very miserable way to live. You'll never be happy if you fixate on race every single day. You know, you know what I fixate on when I get up every single day? Money, 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 money. That's the only thing I fixate on every single day. Making money. So these people that are fixating on race every single day, they're definitely not fixating on making money. And if you're not fixating on making money, like every single day, you can't blame racism for you not being successful or you not being financially stable when you're not fixating on making money every single day. And I can tell you that most employees, I used to be an employee once, most employees, as soon as they clock out, they don't fixate on making money after their work hours. So they're part-time money makers, part-time temporary money makers. I'm a full-time money maker. I make money in my sleep. I make money on the toilet, in the shower, while I'm eating. You know, I fixate on making money every single day. So, you know, it would be very miserable if I just fixated on race every single day. I'd rather fixate on money, and which brings more happiness to my life because everything I need in my household is there. So we gotta stop, man, with this. Y'all fixated on race every single day, or every time a white fan screams out the stands, assuming that he's a racist or he's using racial slurs when he's not. When he might be just calling out a mascot to take pictures with his grandkids. Because that's what baseball fans do. Also, we got another thing I wanted to get into: the Thanasis Antetokounmpo re-signs with the Bucks 2 years. Man, if that's not athletic privilege, I don't know what is. People always talk about every white person's privileged. They're born with privilege. That's bogus. Because I never met my father. My father committed suicide. My mom had to work double shifts just to pay the bills, put a roof over our head, and our apartment burnt down a couple weeks before Christmas. That's the exact opposite of privilege. Exact opposite of privilege. Like, I worked a dead-end job from 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and I walked 2 miles to the job and 2 miles back every single day for at least a decade. And I built my own business from scratch with nobody's help, nobody's assistance, nobody's money whatsoever. Government didn't help me. Nobody helped me. I built this by myself. That's not privilege. That's called the benefits and results of hard work. But Thanasis Antetokounmpo can get a 2-year deal signed for however many millions, and they can bring up the fact that he had career highs of 2.9 points per game and 2.2 rebounds per game. He shouldn't even be in the league. He shouldn't even be in the league if he's only averaging 2.9 and 2.2, and that's his career highs. That's his career highs. And he's been in the league how many years now? Come on, stop it, man. They only signed him to keep Giannis happy. If that's not athletic privilege, I don't know what is. If that's not athletic privilege, I don't know what is. Like, this idea that Thanasis Antetokounmpo should have a 2-year deal with the Bucks when he had career highs of 2.9 points per game and 2.2 rebounds. Stop it! I could average that in the NBA. I could average that in the NBA with a messed up foot and a messed up leg and a messed up shoulder. Stop it, man. Anybody can average that in the NBA. And the fact that they had the nerve to say career highs in the article. He had a career highs. this year of 2.9 per game. I wouldn't even put that out there, man. That's embarrassing. That is such embarrassing that you even equivalate 2.9 points per game as a career high. Stop it! Athletic privilege. Jackson Hayes incident. Man. All right, so apparently Jackson Hayes, cops are called in the Los Angeles area for a domestic dispute. I mean, already when the cops hear domestic dispute, they already think angry male. Angry male, angry at woman. Angry male, angry at woman. They already know he's going to be aggressive, probably. It's more likely he's not going to be calm and relaxed. You know, so cops already know they're coming to domestic dispute angry. And if cops, and I know anything, there's a lot of murders happen off of domestic disputes. A lot of murders where dudes are stabbing a girl, shooting a girl, because we don't know what the domestic dispute is over. We have no idea, right? So apparently the cops get there and they tell them not to attempt to go into the house or whatever that the domestic dispute call is at. And I guess when they try to handcuff him, he wants to push one of them up against the wall. I mean, if you assault a civilian, you can go to jail. You push a civilian in front of a cop, that's assault. You can go to jail. If you push a cop, I mean, what are you really expecting? Anything less than jail? You know? And then when you try to fight the cops, I don't get this trying to fight the cop thing. Like, you know, I don't get that. Like, even when the cop is, like, in civilian clothes, I don't know that that's a good thing. Like, it's just not the smartest thing. It's one of the dumbest things on the planet to try to fight a cop, to try to push a cop, to try to assault a cop. It's like, you're really asking for it. I hate to say it. You're asking for it. I mean, because we all know, if you don't got that much, that's why I'm coming out with a new podcast, the Common Sense Podcast. Because if you don't got enough common sense to know that if you push a cop, things ain't going to go well, then there's no hope for you. There's no hope for you. There's no hope for you. You're a lost cause. If you don't have enough common sense to know that if you push a cop, that things ain't going to go well. If that you resist arrest, things ain't going to go well. If you assault a cop, things ain't going to go well. If you assault a cop off duty, I mean, yeah, he might be cool with like just fighting you one-on-one off duty because he's off duty. He's not in his cop uniform. But even then, he can still have his cop buddies, you know, ride your ass for a long period of time. It's just not a smart thing to do. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. I mean, anybody with common sense should know. You fuck with the cops, bad things could happen. You know? And another thing is I don't just get like super bold with people who got guns and tasers and sticks and I don't got nothing. You know? Like I don't get super bold with people, you know. Like maybe if I got a bazooka, then I'll be bold with the cops. Like, all right, fuck you, cop, I got a bazooka. What you gonna do? You know, could blow you all up. But I'm never gonna have a bazooka or a rocket launcher for that matter. You know, maybe if I got a tank, then I'd be like, you know, cops roll up on me. What you gonna do, cop? I got a tank. Fuck you. But like, you know, they got guns, tasers, and a stick. And 9 times out of 10, there'll be people with no guns trying to fight the cops. Like that's gonna result in good. Like that's really gonna have good results towards the end. You know, it's just like it goes along with the lines of if you play with fire, you could get burnt. Not saying you should get burnt or you will get burnt, but you could get burnt if you play with fire. That's how I feel like when people just try to test the cops. They try to, test the cops, try to push the cops, swing on the cops, assault the cops. Like, now you play with fire. Now you an arsonist. And like, if anything we know about kids that play with fire all the time, that's a clear sign. That's clear signs of a um, a sociopath. Like arsons, like kids that play, people that like to burn things and play with fire. That's a clear sign of a sociopath, which could lead to like serial killers and all types of stuff. So Jackson Hayes, I don't know what he was thinking. I guess he was thinking because he was taller than the cops that he could, he could take them all on. But you play with fire, you get burnt, man. And that's what happens. I mean, when you pretty much think you're going to fight the cops or going to assault the cops or whatever, it's not going to bode well for you in the long run. So far, what do we got? We got fan calls for Mascot Dinger. Everybody wants to assume he said the N-word. That's another thing we got to stop assuming. Kawhi Leonard resigns Clippers. I still don't know. I still don't know if they got enough. I mean, they were, to be honest with you, they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. Kawhi don't get hurt. They might make it. They might make it to the finals if Kawhi don't get hurt. They really do. I mean, they were right there. That's the furthest they've ever been. Then Mac Jones and Cam. Mac Jones looked better than me, man. I know it was just a little, it's 2 series versus 5 series. But Cam's supposed to be Superman. He's a former MVP. He's been in the league for this while. He didn't look good. This is Cam Newton's last year. And he's not, and I really don't have a problem with them starting Cam the whole year and letting Mac just sit for a while, for 1 year, let him get that experience. But if Cam's ready, he's ready because he's more seasoned than Cam. Even Cam is getting high praise on him, and whatnot. And that Thanasis Antetokounmpo, come on, stop it, man. Athletic privilege. That's Antetokounmpo privilege. That's MVP privilege, champion privilege. Because 2-year deal for a cat that's averaging a career high of 2.9. The fact that they set career high is a complete joke, man. It's an embarrassment. And another thing I want to talk about, I seen these little false narratives out there. Hit that click now, subscribe button. Support the channel. I see these false narratives on YouTube that LiAngelo Ball got benched for shooting up the half-court shot that he did. That ain't why he got benched. That's such lies. That is such BS. It's complete BS. It's some fairy tale, imaginary, made up, bogus narrative. He got benched because the shots that he was missing was bricks. I mean, he was clearly bricking. I mean, the bottom of the rim, the side of the backboard. He took some shots and they were just not good shots. They totally missed by miles. So we got to stop these false narratives out there too, man. Like, he got benched because of the bad shots. If you see all the shots he missed, they were off the side of the backboard, bottom of the rim. They were very bad shots. And he's a defensive liability. He's not a great rebounder. All he can do is shoot. And not saying that he's not going to make this league. He might could make this league. I don't think he's going to make it this year. Y'all just got to stop. Y'all got to stop pushing this narrative like he should already, like just because he did what he did. Like last one, they're like, 15 points, 5 or 6. Okay, that's cool. But look at this game. Not too good. Not too good. And now, teams are starting to settle in with the summer league. So we'll see. Pump the brakes, though, man. He didn't get benched because of the half-court shot he took and made. He got benched because of them bricks that he didn't make. And let me get into one last little topic. Before I do, don't forget to click now, subscribe button in the right hand corner. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, hit the follow. Don't forget, audio version goes to about a dozen other platforms as well. Google the Paul Pickett podcast. But we get into this Oregon DIMS lower graduation standards. I mean, what are we doing here, man? Are we dumbing down this country, man? We making this country weak and dumb and stupid. And I mean, come on, man. Like, countries are laughing at us right now, man. Because one of the cornerstones of wealth and power in the world is education, man. I will say that. That's one of the cornerstones. As much as I say that, I didn't even graduate high school, didn't go to college. As much as I tell you, you don't need that to succeed, there's a lot of people that do succeed with it, And it really depends on what you're going to get an education for. Some people go and get education for things that are just like, okay, it's just a regular job. It's you're making no more than a fast food restaurant manager, but you're going to college to do it. That makes no sense to me. Things like that. But like complex computer program or complex like engineering stuff, and of course law and doctors, But there's just some things I'd be like, wow, you went to college just to do that, and you make like half of what I make without my high school diploma, So like, yeah, we don't need to get dumber. That's for sure. We don't need to lower standards on being smart, and getting an education, and we don't need to be lowering standards anyways in society. Standards are pretty much good to go with that. Like, you lower the standards of everything, you just weaken up. Y'all try to lower the standards of getting in the military. It shouldn't be easy to get in the military. It shouldn't be easy. We don't need anybody to be able to defend us, because anybody can't defend the country. Like the Navy SEALs, like they're trying to make it easy. I heard they're talking about making it easier to get in Navy SEALs. Stop it. No. The elite is elite for a reason. It should be, we're going to make it easier to get in the NBA, to get in the NFL, go pro in sports. We're going to make it easier to be an actor, Like, stop it. People already say it's easy to be a musician because some of these rappers are so basic. But guess what? No easy route to this because there's no shortcuts. They spend a lot of money, a lot of advertising. They're willing to go through the process and not try to rush it, So this idea that we're going to lower educational standards, we're going to lower military standards, we're going to, like, nah, man. Like, lowering standards basically just proves the point of that people don't really want equal opportunity. They want equal outcome. And equal opportunity doesn't lead to equal outcome. Two people that got the same smarts, know the same things, go for the same job, and say they both get the job. The guy that works harder is the guy that gets to keep it. This idea that the smarter person just automatically gets the job, no, because that hard work isn't just based off of, working isn't just based off of smarts, period. And hard work is definitely not based off of just smarts either. I like to work smarter and harder, but I also work hard. I've worked hard for many years because I built a business from ground up, from scratch up. Contrary to what people might say that I got white privilege, unless their father committed suicide and they never ever met their father, I don't want to hear that I got any more privilege than they do, because that's complete BS. It's completely bogus, false fairy tale imaginary. I never met my father. He committed suicide when I was 5 years old. Never seen them. I've never had the chance to do that. The odds have been against me since day one. And my stepfather didn't want to be a father either. So I've never had a father. You know, grandparents was the closest thing to, having a father figure. My grandfather was. And that's probably been for a lot of kids. A lot of kids, their grandparents was there, So I'm in that boat. When your grandparents was like, really the ones that were there mentally, emotionally for you more than anything. You know? So yeah, man. Y'all need to hit that click now, subscribe button, support this channel. That's pretty much the rundown. Kawhi resigns, Thanasis Santos Kupo resigns, athletic privilege. Mac Jones probably gonna end up taking that Cam Newton spot. Fan calls for mascot Dinger at Rockies game. That's that's that fixating on racism everyday narrative. And Jackson Hayes trying to, street fight with the cops, man. Like, what was you thinking? And Dems lowered education standard in Oregon. Of course, Portland, Oregon. I mean, we see what's going on in Portland. They're trying to get rid of police altogether. And this is the thing. Before I get off here, this is my take. If y'all want to get rid of police, that's fine. But y'all ain't getting rid of our guns, too. It's one or the other. But y'all trying to get rid of police and get rid of guns, and then we can't even defend ourselves. That means y'all don't give a rat's ass about the people. If you want to get rid of guns, because, what do you think? People ain't going to be walking around with knives, robbing us, putting knives to our throat, and stabbing us to death? We're going to have to walk around with machete blades if you take away guns and cops? Stop it. You want to take away the cops, that's fine, but I'm going to the store with my 12-gauge shotgun. And you ain't making a citizen's arrest if I got to shoot somebody that tries to rob me on the way there. And somebody try to break in my house and rob me because you want to get rid of the cops, and bodies is piling up in front of my front yard. Guess what? No citizen's arrest either. They're going to get shot. That's what's going to happen if y'all get rid of cops. No law, no order. Every man and woman for thyself. And women, y'all won't last. Y'all won't last. Y'all won't last without cops. You think all the men are just gonna run into the rescue to protect you? When a lot of these women out here pushing this, it's a lot of y'all female Democrats that are pushing this. Get rid of the cops. We need to get rid of cops altogether. I heard plenty of female Democrats out of their mouth say, we need to get rid of cops altogether. But what you gonna do to protect yourself? You ain't gonna keep private security for so long. Because once you voted out of office, once they vote you out of office for getting rid of the police like a dummy, you ain't gonna be able to afford your private security, and you gonna be dead as a doornail. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard, man. Get rid of police and get rid of guns. One or the other. And get rid of police in general is the dumbest thing in the world, because y'all act like crime ain't just gonna go rampant, running wild on the loose. And I don't care what race it is, black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. There's gonna be crime everywhere. There's gonna be white people commit crimes, black people, Hispanic people. Hey, it's gonna be every race of commit crimes, because the weak, the strong will prey on the weak. The strong will always prey on the weak. So y'all gotta stop with this, man. One or the other. One or the other. That's my motto. You want to get rid of cops? Fine, but you ain't getting rid of our guns. And if you get rid of our guns, you sure as hell ain't getting rid of our cops. And you ain't getting rid of our guns, period. Because we're not going for that in America. We're not gonna let you take our guns in America. It's not happening, one bit. And I ain't one to sit here and run. Man, my gun ain't shot my gun once. I ain't left the house with my gun, but somebody comes up in my house and threatens my life. I got it. I'm 5'4", 150 pounds, soaking wet, 5 screws in my foot, a rod in my leg, a former dislocated shoulder. Even before all that, I'm only but so big. Some 6 foot, grown man comes in here and, tries to rob me of my own house, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like somebody could rob me at knife point. I'm so short and so little. It's not gonna be hard, man. I'm not super duper big and super duper strong, and I got, you know, former broken bones. So yeah, y'all gotta stop it with these narratives, man. Y'all don't even think past y'all's own ass with some of these narratives y'all come out with. Get rid of the cops and get rid of guns, you know. And YouTube, y'all can sit there and ban me all you want for speaking my mind, speaking the truth, because I mean that's just the reality of life. If you get rid of cops, crime is gonna go rampant on the loose, and we're gonna need our guns more than ever. And that might not be enough, you know. So once again, hit that click now subscribe button. Don't forget the audio version of my podcast goes to Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, Odyssey, Castbox, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Stitcher, TuneIn, and more. This podcast is also sponsored by PromoPalace.biz, online marketing promotions, and newlitter.com, New Litter Apparel. For you dog lovers and cat lovers, go check us out. We got t-shirts, hoodies, shoes, and even we got bandanas and apparel for your dog to wear as well. Also, for Shizzle, before I go, I got to shout out the Dizzle, DizzleBrand.com. Check them out. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They also got a bunch of recipes on there with all the different drinks that you can make with a Dizzle. And check out for the Dizzle. Coming soon to an ABC store or a club or a bar near you. And the Dizzle, it's a mixture of cognac, agave, tequila, orange liquor, mango mix, and crisp lemon. So that's cognac, agave, tequila, orange liquor, mango mix, and crisp lemon. I should have some on the way pretty soon. And once we do, we'll give a sip on the podcast, let y'all know what it tastes like. I'm not a big drinker, a big alcohol guy. My rap name and my musician name is Paul Masson. So I do have a bottle of Paul Masson in my living room. And I do sip it every now and then, It's good. Paul Masson is good for you. It puts hair on your chest, which I have a lot of. So, yeah, once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is Triple P, Paul Pickett Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Pickett, and this is your source for sports, music, politics, and much more. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.